Okay, so welcome, episode 40. Not quite at 2 years, but we're getting there, I guess. It'd be what? 52 would be 2 years, except I've taken breaks every now and then. Episode 9 of the Scarred Lands, Frostlands of Fenrilik, season, I think it's 6. I've had a week, I've had a month off, and my brain is just gone. I just couldn't stand it last time. I didn't have the energy to do it. I was burning out. Anyway, standard things. I do not work for Onyx Path. I am any views expressed, opinions, whatever, on my own. Simply a fan of the platform, and I know that sometimes I can potentially put across the idea that I am the expert. I'm an expert in all of this, and so I know what I'm talking about. And you must do what I say, otherwise the end result will be terrible. That is completely false. I firmly believe that no one ever really masters anything. That we're all learning as we go. No matter how long you've been doing this, whether this is the first time writing community content or if you're an established RPG writer, we're all learning. Things change, new ideas permeate the social consciousness. Better ways of doing different ways of doing things. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. But no one is an expert, and well, people are experts, but no one knows everything. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. I am disabled, however, I do experience muscle spasms, which can lead to twitching of my head and neck. It can also lead to the muscles of my throat and jaw spasming. So I might stutter, I might have some slurred speech. I apologise. I will do what I can to mitigate it if that is the case. I might just stutter and have slurred speech because if you've probably noticed, I speak pretty quickly. This is due entirely to nervousness and anxiety. I've been streaming for well over 2 years at this point, nearly 2.5 years, I think, and I still get pre-stream jitters that continue throughout the entire stream. The only consolation is I will get tired, and when I get tired, I slow down. I do struggle with multiple trains of thought, so I will try to finish one before jumping on to the next. If you raise a point or a question or anything like that, I will try to acknowledge the fact I've seen it. I'm getting very hot, so I'm going to try to take my jacket off without muting the mic. I will continue speaking. I will try to acknowledge that I've seen it while I'm talking, and then I will try to address it as best I can afterwards. Sometimes I might not know the answer. Shock horror, I don't know all the answers. What is this? If that is the case, I will try to direct you to someone or somewhere that you may find the answer. Invariably, this will be the Discord community because they're a bit more prompt than the Onyx Path forums. And also, I'm terrible at forum communities and therefore have not joined the Onyx Path forum, so I cannot speak for its veracity. Veracity? Efficacy. There we go. Start of show links as ever and as always. Let's get these started. So, standard really. 1 second. Okay, now the closed captions are on. If you require closed captions, you should now be able to get them. I use Web Captioner, so that goes through OBS. All you need to do is hit the closed caption button on Twitch. If you tap the player, if you're on mobile, or if you hover over the cursor, there should be a closed caption option. If not, you might need to refresh your stream. But if you want closed captions, they do a pretty good job of keeping up with my speech. Obviously, standard problems with captions apply, but there we go. They're auto-generated. This is not pre-recorded, can you believe? Anyway, as I was saying before, I remembered to turn the closed captions on. Best place to go for anything regarding the Onyx Path, their many worlds, etc. The Monday meeting notes being the weekly update. Obviously, I do this recap every 2 weeks, so if you're not reading them, and if you're relying on my recaps, you're actually only getting half the content. You really should read them. However, if you're here for the recap, then that's totally fine as well. Obviously, I'm going to recap because that is what I do, because that makes sense to me to do it. So, they kind of bury the lead a little bit, but we'll get to that in a moment. It opens with a picture of a Nazi being punched, which is always good, as an introduction to the Kickstarter that went live last Thursday for Trinity Continuum Adventure. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but there's 100% an exclamation mark, so that's how I'm pronouncing it and emphasizing it. Trinity Continuum being a story path game, so the same system that Scion uses, and I believe that They Came From games. Disclaimer: I have They Came From. I have one of them. I think it's Beneath the Sea. It's on my to read pile. But it's a way of playing. It's a way of playing superheroes in story path. Adventure is for pulp games, so 1930s, Punch Nazis, Red Temples, all of that good stuff. I believe there's some measure of like Magitech involved, but that's what it is. That is already funded, so it's a sure bet. You can back it now, and right now it's already over double. It's already over 200% funded. So there's loads of stretch goals being hit left, right, and or center. Your preference. There's some multimedia. There's some links in the media section explaining more about that, and you may have remembered a couple of streams I've been pushing the radio play that was being done in a lead up to this. That is now over. You can now listen to that in its entirety. What else is there? Mage 20, or Mage the Awakening 20th Anniversary Edition Victorian Era, which is a mouthful, let me tell you that much. Obviously finished late last week also. There was a slight overlap between Mage and Trinity Continuum. Adventure! Because it was on Indiegogo, Onyx Path are trialing something new, or doing something new temporarily. Sorry, I need to sort out a tissue. Where are my tissues? There we go. When the backer kit goes live, and it is not live yet, but when the backer kit goes live for Victorian Mage, which is what I'm going to call it for shorthand, any late pledges on backer kit for the first 60 days of the backer kit will actually contribute towards stretch goals, because the Indiegogo is an experiment. They have not said whether or not they're going to do it again, but there we go. I'm just going to real quick blow my nose. I'm so sorry. It's happened all of a sudden. I'm back. It's easier to lean out of the frame than turn off the webcam, would you believe? Then there's some sweet art for Mummy 2E, and then there's the big announcement that it's big depending on your excitement for it, I guess. A Scion TV series has been announced. Well, more accurately, Onyx Path has agreed that a production company can develop a pitch for a live-action TV series. So that's pretty hype. There are assurances that this will not turn out like Kindred the Embraced. So that's good. And then there's some sweet V5 art. I mean, I preface art with sweet all the time, but Onyx Path art in general is really good. And then there's more on the Adventure Kickstarter, including the trailer, podcast links, all of that usual stuff. Hey, this show is Pick of the Week, by the way, so if you're watching this live, good for you. If you're not watching this live, you're either a subscriber to the Twitch channel, in which case you might be watching it in the first week, so good for you too. If you are not watching this within the first week because you are not a Twitch subscriber, you've had to wait a week for the exclusivity period to end, and then you might be watching this on the Twitch channel for the Onyx Path or my YouTube channel, in which case, good for you as well. If you want to watch things live without that week's exclusivity, you need to subscribe to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. A Prime Gaming sub works as well as a normal sub, and has all of the same benefits. It's free. It's free for you. You're just paying the cost of it with your Amazon Prime account subscription. I don't know. But that sweet sub to the channel allows the Onyx Path to keep putting on quality content, not like this show, like everything else on the channel. This show is, not great. And also allows you to watch videos a week before anyone else. Gives you access to sweet subscriber-only emotes. I apparently have one adjective, and it is the opposite of sour. And if you are a member of the Onyx Path Discord community, there is one, you get to use the emotes on there, on the Onyx Path Discord server. But two, you are eligible. If you link your Twitch account to your Discord account, which not everyone knows you can do, but you can, you'll be able to join the Discord. You'll be able to join the subscribers-only Discord channel, I believe. I have What was I going to say? It's a small-ish channel right now, but I'm sure it will grow in time. Okay, continuing on. I guess I should mention the jump starts. That seems like something I should talk about, but I'm not going to. No, that's a lie. I'm going to. April is jumpstart month for the Onyx Path, so what that means is they're trying to run as many of their jumpstarts as possible over the entire month. We have 5 coming up this week. If you haven't noticed, or if you haven't been watching this live, on the pre-roll and post-roll, the schedule now goes from Tuesday to Monday, because that's the way the Monday meeting notes has it. Because they were going up and people were missing, like, the Monday meeting notes was promoting content that had already aired. So they shifted the schedule along a day. So it starts with my show on the week that I'm streaming, and then no pressure there, I know, right? And then goes on to the next Monday, and then starts on Tuesday with whoever's on after me, today being at the top of the schedule. Anyway, that's by the by. So that means that this week, you'll be able to see it anyway, but if you're watching this for whatever reason, on the 1st, which is Thursday, the Dystopia Rising and Changeling, the Dreaming 20th Anniversary jumpstarts are being run. On Friday, we've got Trinity Continuum Aeon. On Saturday is the Contagion Chronicle jumpstart, I believe. And then on Sunday is the Vampire the Requiem 2nd edition jumpstart. I personally have only played the Requiem one. And it was my first interaction with 2nd edition Requiem. And it's a good time. So if you have no idea or are even vaguely interested in Vampire the Requiem, highly recommend checking that out, whether live at 11 a.m. EDT or after the fact via Twitch subscription or on the YouTube channel. I am personally getting involved. You know what? Time is a construct, obviously, but I have time somehow by taking time out of other projects. I'm running the Pugmire Quick Start, The Secret of Vincent's Tomb, on the 20th of April, which could be full of memes in that it's on 420. But also, I don't think good dogs would do drugs, and the point of Pugmire is to answer the question is are you a good dog or not. So there we go. My bona fides for Pugmire are very limited. I have a lot of experience with 5th edition, so I know the underlying rule set. I'm going to devour the Quick Start, and I'm also going to read the Pugmire rulebook for like the 3rd or 4th time at this point, between now and the 20th. But that does mean, for those of you who are keeping track, or keeping score, or keeping count, however you want to phrase it, you actually get me 3 times this month. Next month, sorry. This show, as I try to explain every time, is bi-weekly or fortnightly, depending on where you fall in the English dialect. Which means that you will actually get me on the 13th with Behind the Screen. You'll get me on the 20th with the Pugmire Jumpstart. And you'll get me on the 27th with Behind the Screen again. So hopefully that makes up for last time's missed stream. We're trying to sort players out for that right now. So hopefully that'll be hype. Pugmire is always a fun time, from what I've seen, read, and heard. And I think we're all good there. I think that's everything. Hang on, keep scrolling. Jumpstarts, links to various videos on the YouTube channel. Again, this show goes up on my YouTube channel. Huge thanks to Onyx Path for letting me do that. But it's Comrade Bubbles, just type it on YouTube. I'm not a partner, I don't have a fancy URL. I think that's it though. Not it in the slightest. On sale this week. They came from Outer Space archetypes and tropes. That's the tasty bit. And also, extra item cards are hitting Drive-Thru RPG. Yugman's spell cards and Yugman's magic item cards, both from Yugman's Guide to Gelsbad. There is no further information on the second Onyx Path Virtual Gaming Convention, save that it will happen in June. Let's see if there's any important stuff for this show in the updated project timeline. Doesn't look like it. If I've missed anything, I'm sure someone will correct me. So there we go. That's the very, very swift and still 15-minute long rundown of the Monday meeting notes. Hopefully it was enjoyable and informative, and we'll get started now. So previously on Behind the Screen, that is the first and last time I'm going to do that. I do apologize. So far, as you can see, we have been, I've had input from chat. We've been going through each of the core classes in the core rules. I guess standard explanation. I will make reference to the OGL, which is the Open Gaming License, that allows you to draw material from the SRD, the System Reference Document for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. There we go. We've been going through all of the core classes in the SRD, so if you're familiar with Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, that is everything from the Player's Handbook. That's the easiest way of explaining it. We've had a Fenrilic-themed core class, Fenrilic-themed subclass for each of the core classes, going in alphabetical order over the past 9 episodes. So for those of you counting, that leaves 3 classes. There are 12 core classes, happily. Unsurprisingly, today's topic is the Sorcerer. People call Fenrilic the roof of the world for good reason, but all too often they forget that it also stretches to the bones of the world. This land of snow and darkness was largely unspoiled by the horrors of the Divine War, and the slumbering powers of the blizzards and primordial rocks remain largely asleep. Every now and then, however, they stir ever so slightly and bless one with their gifts. These wilderness sorcerers are set apart from most other people, called endlessly into the empty waste that gifted them untold arcane potential, but as desirous of company as anyone else. I had enough time to empty this table of placeholder text, so there's no confusion there, and I manually entered, with my own hands, Primal Magic. Before I get started actually on the class, though, I want to briefly touch on something. So if you remember last time with the rogue, with the tracker's awareness feature, I replicated the text of the ranger's natural explorer feature. This is something that you can do if you want to. Each class has its own feel with its focus on skills, features, and if it has access to such things, spells. With magic items also altering that feel in some ways. And the easiest way to get one particular class to feel like another class is just crib, copy, what have you, class features. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying don't do it. But sometimes it's not as easy as just copying the feature across. Sometimes you might have to tweak it somehow. Sometimes you might have to do something else with it. And this is definitely the case with... Sorry, I need to get rid of my jacket. It was in the wrong place. It's definitely the case with spellcasters. So those of you who do not know, magic in D&D is not only divided into 8 schools of magic, to which each spell belongs to one school, but also there are different. This isn't really a thing in 5th edition. It's never explained anywhere, but it's still very much present. There are. I'm going to oversimplify here, but there are, broadly speaking, 3 sources of magic, I guess. Arcane, which is kind of wizardly magic, I guess. Sorcerers, wizards, bards. Divine, magic from the gods, which is the clerics, paladins. And primal magic, which is magic of the natural world, druids, and rangers. Warlocks are a bit weird in that I think technically they're classed as arcane casters, but they have a spell list that shares few spells with any other class, so I give them like the subheading Eldritch magic, but there we go. So the arcane spells are generally less concerned with replicating natural effects or interacting with the natural world, and just being like, here is an overt display of magic. Not always overt, but a lot of the time it's an overt thing. Like Fireball is an arcane spell, for example. The Sorcerer, as I mentioned, is an arcane caster, but the Wilderness Origin lends itself more to nature-based stuff. So to flavour the class immediately, there is precedence for this. I'm not just talking out of my left foot for politeness reasons. The first thing, Primal Magic is going to give the Sorcerer access to the Druid spell list. I did think about the Ranger spell list, but the Ranger spell list is very focused. It's also limited to up to 5th level spells. Rangers, as I mentioned during the Ranger stream, episode, whatever, being a half caster, so they only get up to 5th level spell slots. Druids are full casters, and Sorcerers are full casters, so I thought, give them the Druid spell list. So that's, by the by, it is what it is. Already the Sorcerer has a nature theme going on, based entirely around the fact that they get access to an additional spell list, which is full of nature-based spells. I'm not going to preclude. There we go. Sorcerer spells. This Sorcerer's Origin will be able to pick from both Sorcerer and Druid lists. I guess I should touch on that. So you'll notice, for those who don't know, in Dungeons and Dragons and the SRD, Scarred Lands, whichever you prefer. This is a Scarred Lands stream. I should probably refer to it as Scarred Lands. In Scarred Lands, the rules provide you with a class and a subclass. Depending on your class, you get your subclass at 1st, 2nd, or 3rd level, and then at subsequent levels after that. Sorcerers get theirs at 1st level, and their subclass is tied not into how they cast magic or what kind of magic they cast, but how they actually get their magic. Wizards are people who study magic, usually at an institution or university or something like that. Bards use the magic of music and their voice to cast spells, but there's usually presumed to be some sort of tuition involved, because you still have to learn to sing, you still have to learn to play the instrument, and then you have to learn how to use that knowledge to cast spells. Sorcerers are people who spontaneously awaken to magic. The SRD Sorcerer's Origin is Draconic. I think it's just called Draconic. Where at some point in your family line, there is a dragon, and their magic has lain dormant or awakened, all the way down to you, and you have woken to this magical heritage. So that's that. So that's why it's Wilderness Origin. This is literally a sorcerer whose magic spontaneously awoken them due to some effect, connection, or interference from the natural forces of the world itself. What that is left entirely up to the player character to decide. I'm not going to dictate that. It is just simply going to give them access to magics that they would not otherwise have access to. The other 1st level feature, let's say, mouse wheel, why are you like this? I just wanted to scroll down and it kept scrolling up. But if I scroll up, it goes up as well. Don't worry, it makes no sense. That's that. I'm just refreshing myself on the other 1st level features. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go with the easy thing. Primal Magic. Natural Understanding. And then, as ever, I will do a note form. Druid spells plus Druid cantrip. I'll explain all that later. There we go. Bonus prof plus speak to animals. Again, I'll clarify that later. Right, so that's the firm grounding. You've got expand the spell list, and a connection to the natural world that we'll build upon. 6th level, I believe, is sorcery point stuff. No. Maybe. Maybe not. Doesn't have to be sorcery points. I thought it did. Even better. Okay, so the... Sorry, I just need to... Apparently I have a slight cold coming. Sorcerers have a class feature called sorcery points, which they can spend to alter their magic in some way or other. Whether by changing damage types. Nope, not by changing damage types unless you're using the latest D&D book. Doubling spell ranges, reducing casting times, that kind of thing. So I could do something with sorcery points here, but I might tie that into primal magic and have like a also when you gain access to the sorcery point class feature, you can do X with sorcery points. So something that I was thinking of doing originally when I was trying to decide what kind of wizard to do, was have a spellcaster that manipulates the environment. And I know to some extent I've got environmental manipulation in the where is it? The fighter, I believe it was, the environmental awareness. But I kind of like the idea of the sorcerer having some sort of environmental manipulation as well. Probably tie it into casting spells of 1st level or higher. Yes, let's go with this. Let's call it Primal Shield. And let's do this and that. And 4 options when casting spells. Ooh, options when casting spells or just as an action. Why not both? As an action or as a reaction taken when you cast a spell 1st level or higher. Boom. Done. That's all good. I'm going to hydrate because I have been talking quite rapidly for just under half an hour. I have to keep an eye on my recording time, not my streaming time, because of the 5-minute pre-roll time. I was trying to open this window. There we go. 14th level seems to be overt manifestation of stuff. I've done it before where class features give you the ability to cast spells without requiring material components. And similarly, class features can just replicate spells without requiring a spell slot. If this is something that you want to do, please do be aware that unless you specify, that will not be a magical effect, and therefore will not be affected by anti-magic zones or dispel magic, or, well, counterspell won't work because you're not casting a spell, but dispel magic won't work unless you specify this as a spell or a magical effect. Like Primal Shield will not be a spell. It will be something that you can do that might be magical, but I'm not sure yet. Might just be the world reacting to your presence. Anyway, I don't want to do the wild shape feature, but I want to do something similar. Let's say wild form. That's a bit ecamental. What? Elemental body. Elemental form sounds better, I think. And then this will be, again, 4 options that last 1 minute. Would you believe they'll be themed around the elements? And then 18th level features for the Sorcerer typically are pretty good. Storm Sorcerers gain immunity to lightning and thunder damage. They are not in the SRD. Please do not assume that they are. What else? What else am I looking at for 18th level? Kind of want to have like nature go crazy. Natural entropy? No. Oh, I just got overgrowth. And then it'll just be nature goes crazy as the annotated as the note form of the class feature. Okay, so Primal Magic does not get her at first level. Primal Magic, in fact, I will just copy the wording from here. Yes. Your connection to the natural world allows you to... Not cleric, druid spells, there we go. Oh, yes, a note on spellcasters and how they do spells. Sorcerers, for the purposes of this, not for the purposes of this explanation, I will focus on sorcerers and druids. There we go. Sorcerers learn spells, so you pick a spell whenever you level up and you know that spell. Druids prepare their spells daily, so they have access to the entire spell list every day, but can only prepare so many. There we go. That's how spells work. So, if you're concerned that having access to 2 spell lists is an issue, not really, because you still have to pick one that you learn whenever you level up. Your connection to the natural world allows you to learn druid spells. And then I'm going to copy this wall of text, this paragraph, because it's just easier than typing it out. Where am I going? Where am I going? There I am. Whoops. Was it Control-Shift-V without? Yeah, it is. Oh, right. Yeah, it's because it's a... that. Please bear with me while I go through here and insert spaces where they're required. So sorcerers can replace spells that they know when they level up. Oh. Fun fact: doing this actually gives me arm cramp after a while, so I try to minimize the length of time that I do it for. And also I changed the fingers that I'm doing it with, which holds my arm at a slightly different angle. New spell, there we go. Ignore the fact that this says cleric, it needs replacing. There we go. While I'm doing this, why not take a moment to point out that if you have any questions, any at all, about running games, please feel free to ask general GM tips. Obviously, the show is focused on this. Well, this is the Honest Path channel, so obviously I would appreciate it being kept to Honest Path games, but general tips I'm also open to discussing. There we go. I like how Google's autocorrect kind of fails on paragraphs, but the moment you get to within like 6 words, it's like, I know what you're trying to say. What else do I want to crib from this subclass? Nothing. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Additionally, you learn one druid cantrip of your choice. This does not count towards your number of cantrips known. When you gain access to the... is it called sorcery? I think it's just called sorcery points. Or sorcery point. Wait, sorcerers, I'm going to say around page 55. Why not? Ah, 55 is the end of the wizard. Never mind. So close, but so far. Oh, font of magic. There we go. It's a good thing I checked. When you get access to the font of magic class option, you may expend one sorcery point to cast this cantrip as a bonus action. This is not super game breaking or in any way. Those of you who don't know, sorcery points at third. So sorcery points you get at second level, and you can do nothing with them but convert them into spell slots. At third level, you then get meta magic, which allows you to affect a spell in some way. And one of the spell meta magic options is, in fact, called Quicken Spell. Which is when you cast a spell that has a casting time of one action, you can spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action for this casting. All this class feature does is gives you that ability a level earlier, slightly cheaper, and means if you don't want to take that feature for any other spell, you don't have to. So that's primal magic. Natural understanding. I guess from first level. Your connection to He Natural World. Your connection to the natural world allows you to intuit and understand it in ways others cannot. You gain proficiency in either the nature, or survival skill. Additionally, you can... what's the wording? It's like you can communicate with small beasts, I think. I need to open a book. I don't currently have it open for this. Gosh. You know what? Let's go for that. Where is it? Supplements. What's he published? Helps if I have the right window open. Oops, that's the wrong Explorer instance. Hey, I want one feature. Please. There it is. I want to see how it's worded. Okay. You can communicate with beasts and plants. I need to reword this. They understand the meaning of your words, but you have no I mean, I'm just copying it word for word at this point. Oh, no, never mind. I think that's fine. You can communicate with beasts and plants. I could give it a limited CR rating. I don't think that's necessary, though. I think we're fine like this. 1 second. Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, I could reference the spells, speak with animals and speak with plants, but they don't. I don't think that's particularly needed. Let's see if there's anything in those spell references that I do like, though. And the spell descriptions I do like, though. Speak with animals. Gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for duration. The knowledge of management is limited by intelligence. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I need to clarify. Like, additionally, you can communicate with beasts and plants. Kind of says what it does on the tin. Like, you can talk to them and they can talk back. There we go. You can communicate with and comprehend beasts and plants. Okay, so Primal Shield's the 6th level feature. Oh, please, thank you. Oh, at 6th level, connection to the natural world. You can call upon the natural world, though. Your can. That's terrible. Please don't. You can call upon natural world to aid you. As an action, or as a reaction taken when you cast a spell of 1st level or higher. Sorry if the webcam's moving, shaking a bit, by the way. Again, the monitor that it's perched on is not terribly stable. As an action or as a reaction taken when you cast a spell of 1st level or higher. Taken after you cast a spell of 1st level or higher. You may call upon one of the elements below. Alphabetical order, please. Air, earth, fire, water. There we go. That's how I alphabetize things, I guess. And sometimes it works out. I like how it just dragged an empty space there. That's pretty good. Air. Choose a number of unoccupied spaces you can see within 20 feet of you, equal to your proficiency bonus. Any ranged attack passing through any of these spaces is made at disadvantage. And I'll have a line down here, like, all of these effects last until the end of your next turn. All of these effects last until the end. The next turn. There we go. Told you it would. Told you I would. Sorry. These also need bullet pointing because they're a list. Also, just for ease of referencing, that'll have a space. No bullet point. Also, my neck is cramped and it really hurts. I will try not to let it distract me though. You may turn each of these spaces into difficult terrain. Oh, even better, even better. Choose a number of adjacent unoccupied spaces adjacent to each other. To each other that you can see within 20 feet of you. There we go. So that's like a wall of wind kind of thing. There we go. Equal to your proficiency bonus. You may turn these spaces into difficult terrain or form a low wall that provides half cover. People standing behind it. That's exactly what it says on the tin. Right, for fire and water, I want to step away from the kind of like line or clump. What else? What else could you do? Could illuminate an area with fire. I'm trying to. I want to step back from damage dealing effects, ideally. This is the natural world helping, not the natural world being weaponized. I guess fire and water I could be like pick a number of X. Pick a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus or whatever. Oh, I think I have it. I think I have it. Let's see. Choose a number of creatures you can see within 20 feet of you, equal to your proficiency bonus. That is the wrong way around. Does it choose a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus that you can see within 20 feet of you? I don't know. You know what? I've written this particular phrasing so many times. Let's see if I can find it up here somewhere. Maybe I haven't. It's got to be here somewhere. A creature you can see within 20 feet. So a creature, number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus that you can see within 20 feet. Yeah. Also, this is within 20 feet. Okay, I'm good. Within 20 feet of you. Choose a number of creatures that you can see within 20 feet of you equal to your proficiency bonus. First attack made against an affected creature gains a +1 bonus to its attack roll. And then with water, it's pretty basic. Each creature must succeed at a strength saving throw. Versus your spell save DC, or be pushed 10 feet in a direction. Of your choice. Pushed is a weird one in D&D because you can technically pull people with a push effect sometimes. If it's a ranged push, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I'm probably wrong about that. All of these effects last until the end of your next turn. I think that's fine. I mean, I could do this as like a bonus equal to... Yeah, let's see, bonus equal to half your proficiency bonus. Equal to half your... Gains a bonus equal to half your proficiency bonus. Yeah. That's weird. That's clunky. I don't like it, but here's where we are. Okay. Here's where I get interested. So here's where I have to think of because I could just use the same 4 elements, but that's boring. Also, the Fen Relic also has like snow. So I might do like snow, sand. What other environments are there? Tundra, desert, marsh, I guess? Let's write this down. Tundra, desert, marsh, grassland? So tundra's like water and air. Desert's fire and earth. So we need water and earth, marsh, and... be fine. It's 14th, I think. Yeah, 14th level. That's too far. That's too far. Beginning at 14th level, you can draw upon the magic suffusing your body. To manifest temporarily as an elemental. For 1 minute, you gain the elemental keyword. So, quick note about gaining keywords. Current guidance, officially stated by Wizards of the Coast, for any games using their OGL and SRD. If you gain a keyword, you gain the benefits and drawbacks of both keywords that you have. So this would be humanoid and elemental, just to clarify that. And you must choose an elemental form from the list below. So these need a bullet point. You gain resistance. Yes. Gain resistance to cold damage, and may spend 1 sorcery point. When you transform. Oh, I need to clarify this is an action to do. to gain immunity to cold damage. Any creature that starts its turn, let's say within 10 feet of you, takes 1d8 cold damage. I think it would be written as that. If you didn't, if you didn't want to roll the damage die. Whenever you make an attack or cast a spell that... You know what, let's just clarify this. Whenever you deal damage with an attack or a spell, you may use your reaction to change that damage type to cold damage. I need to reword this to be like, I'm just going to put as an action here, and then a comma, and then a couple of spaces to remind myself to reword that. Desert. Well, these are all going to have the same thing, but with different damage types. So I'm going to do that right now. So that's fire. Fire. Oop, space. Poison. Oh, that's not where the wrong eye was. That's where the wrong eye was. Why did I not watch this? And then non-magical. I'm going to specify weapon damage. You know what? I don't think I will specify weapon damage. Oh, also this. So I will explain my thought process in a moment. Not that there's anyone. Oh, apparently there is someone to provide feedback on my thinking process. So that's cool. I just need to get rid of these superfluous letters. Okay, so I'm not specifying weapon damage because when you take falling damage, it is not a weapon, it is just non-magical bludgeoning damage. I just like the idea of this person made of grass falling immune to non-magical damage and just kind of landing like after a 200-foot fall as a pile of grass and just standing up and walking off. To me, that seems funny. It is what it is. Like, if it doesn't work if you buy this and your GM doesn't approve that interpretation of the rules, one, you can point them to me and I'll clarify that the intention was that you can survive falling damage, and two, it's really their table at the end of the day, so they do have the right to say that. I just like the idea. That's just me. Anyway, right, so desert form. So let's not have an aura. You may travel through other creatures and deal, let's say, once per turn, you may enter another creature's space. That creature takes... I'll just do the same damage die for now. 5, bracket, 1d8, close bracket. Fire damage, and 5, 1d8 slashing damage. So this is to like a sandstorm. Sorry, the heat of that sandstorm, and then the actual abrasiveness of the sand. If you end your turn in another creature's space, you take, I think it's just like that, right? Force damage. And pushed 5 feet to the nearest unoccupied space. I think that's the usual way of usual phrasing. I could be wrong. I'll have to check that when I edit this. Mosh form. Oh, does it need anything else? Sure. Additionally, you can squeeze through gaps of 1 inch or greater. Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna steal the wording from the elemental. I have that potential. I'm pretty sure elementals are in the SRD because you can't copyright the word elemental. Where are the monsters? Please. Oh, too far. Additionally, you can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. Let's just say without being slowed. The game already has the text as without squeezing, so that's what I'll use. Again, it helps if you try to stick with the language of the game that you are writing for, just to provide that sense of coherence and unity across products. Right, so Mosh. Gain resistance to poison damage. You may spend 1 sorcery point when you transform to gain immunity to poison damage. Okay, so we've got an aura. We've got an ability to go through other creatures' space and just deal damage to them. Extra damage type, extra movement option. I feel like a swarm of flies is the play here. Ooh, what swarms are in the monster manual portion of the SRD? Unfortunately, the SRD has no bookmark, so let's hope that Control F works. Control F. Oh, it's working. Cool. Quipper. Nope. Swarm of bats. Swarm of insects. There we go. Okay, so as a bonus action, you may Summon a swarm of insects. Swarm follows your verbal commands. Hang on, I just need to... what page is this? 390. Okay. Chat, remember 390. It's entirely up to you, you don't have to. Where is the... Oh, no. I don't think that's the ranger archetype, is it? It is not. Okay. Is it like a conjure animal spell or something I can copy the words from? Where is it? C-O-M. C-O-N, there we go. Please. There we go. And then minimize that so I can see chat again. As a bonus action, you may summon a swarm of insects. Why is that without formatting? What? Okay. It's just easier to do this. Is it size 11, I think? Yeah. Some creatures friendly to you and your companions. So, summon swarm is friendly to you and your companions. Roll initiative for it. And it roll initiative for it. And it has its own turns. It obeys any verbal commands that you issue to it. Action required by you. If you don't issue any commands to it, it defends itself. Itself from hostile creatures, but otherwise takes no actions. Oops. Jim has the creature statistics. That's fine. The swarm's hit points are increased by an amount equal to your, as a sorcerer level. Plus your proficiency bonus, so that'd be like at 14th level, like 20, which doubles the swarm's hit points. Anyway, the swarm's hit points are increased by an amount equal to your sorcerer level plus your proficiency bonus, and it uses your spell attack modifier. Oh, no. It uses your spell attack modifier in place of its attack modifier. Nope, your spell attack bonus. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. I was like, that is not right. That sounds wrong in my head. In place of its attack bonus, bounds. And adds your spellcasting ability modifier to its damage rolls. You may have one swarm. You may summon one. You may summon one swarm at a time. It does give you some leeway to be like, hey, it doesn't say I can't have more than one at a time. You may have one swarm summoned at a time. And the swarm... I was going to say that's a dissi, not dissa. The swarm dissipates when it is reduced to 0 hit points, or this I guess it's this feature ends. The effect of this feature ends? Yeah, the effect of this feature ends. I wonder if it's worth having you pick this at 14th level, but you may change it. Like you pick the form when you gain the feature, but you can change it whenever you gain a level. I might do that. Just thinking out loud, really. Anyway, grassland. Resistance to non-magical damage based on what sorcerer point transform to gain immunity to non-magical damage. This is a stupid idea. Your movement, your base walking speed, let's say, is lowered by 10 feet. Each creature of your choice within 10 feet of you gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. At the start of their turn. Sorry. I might have to mute the mic, actually. I think we're going to sneeze. I do apologise. I didn't manage to get to my elbow in time. Anyway. Base walking speed is low by 10 feet and you're immune to the prone condition. Each creature of your choice within 10 feet of you gains temporary hit points equal to your... Oh, that you can see. You can see within 10 feet of you gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of their turn. Does that seem a bit low? That'll be 5. Yeah, let's add plus your proficiency bonus. What else? Anything else? Maybe an AC increase. Base walking speed is low by 10 feet. You are immune... Oh, reduced. Sorry, not lowered. Should be reduced. By 10 feet, you're immune to the prone condition, and your AC increases by 1. Note that I'm not affecting dexterity, because that would have adverse effects on such things as mage armor. That's good. Benefit of a shield. Basically, you're turning into a tree. That's what I'm doing here. That's the mental image I'm trying to conjure. You turn into a tree person. The 10 feet is like within range of the branches. I think that's okay. Two damage, 2 utility. Well, 2 damage, 1 kind of that conjures a pet, and 1 that is good for healing and defensive purposes. And then overgrowth. This is the 18th level feature, right? Oh, I also need to word the thing. Yeah, 18th level. I'm just gonna write when you reach 18th level here. And then we'll come back to that. As an action, oh, I mean, it's just may assume an elemental form. For 1 minute, you gain the elemental keyword, and you must choose an elemental form from the list below. As an action, you must choose an elemental form from the list below. For 1 minute, you gain the elemental keyword and that form's listed abilities. Ah, there we go. Much better. Okay, overgrowth. When you reach 18th level, you can use your magic to alter the land around you. Whenever you cast a spell of first level or higher, how to word this? Because I want it to be both bad and good. Like difficult terrain obviously makes sense. But I don't just want this to be the effects of the plant growth spell. Although I think difficult terrain is a good starting point. Whenever you cast a spell at first level or higher, you can create an area of difficult terrain with a radius equal to the spell level times 5. Centered on yourself. Each creature within the area must succeed on a strength saving throw. They must succeed at a strength saving throw, I think. Or be restrained until the start of your next turn. I know that's misspelled, do not worry. You may choose any number of creatures. You can see in the affected area to automatically one might even say, because it's sort of a spell. But, you know, I'm not going to. I'm a better person than that. What happens if you cast this multiple times on the same area? I guess it just lasts longer. Yeah. This effect lasts for 1 hour per spell is not the right word though. For 1 hour per use of this feature, I guess. Yeah. Do I limit it how many times you can use this feature? Yes. Probably. Difficult terrain and the ability to restrain at will. That's pretty powerful. You may use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. And regain all expended uses at the end of a, let's say, long rest. You don't want to go tiring yourself out. Okay, so I think that is a decent Sorcerer's origin, I think. Let's do what we usually do. Let's go back up to the top of the subclass description, read the narrative, see if the fiction, see if the class features play into that narrative. People call Fenric the roof of the world for good reason, but all too often they forget that it also stretches to the bones of the world. This land of snow and darkness was largely unspoiled by the horrors of the Divine War, and the slumbering powers of the blizzards and primordial rocks remain largely asleep. Every now and then, however, they stir ever so slightly and bless one with their gifts. These wilderness sorcerers are set apart from most other people, called endlessly into the empty waste that gifted them untold arcane potential, but as desirous of company as anyone else. So, at first level, primal magic. Please scroll down, mouse wheel. Why are you like this? Your connection to the natural world allows you to learn druid spells. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn or replace a sorcerer cantrip or a sorcerer spell first level or higher, you can choose the new spell from the druid spell list or the sorcerer spell list. You must otherwise obey all the restrictions for selecting the spell, and it becomes a sorcerer spell for you. Additionally, you learn one druid cantrip of your choice. This does not count towards your number of cantrips known. When you gain access to the Font of Magic class option, you may expend 1 sorcery point to cast this cantrip as a bonus action. And natural understanding. From first level, your connection to the natural world allows you to intuit and understand it in ways others cannot. You gain proficiency in either the nature or survival skill. Additionally, you can communicate with and comprehend beasts and plants. Please note, you don't get advantage on communicating with them, you can just talk to them. That might help you, it might not help you. Both of those seem to tie in pretty nicely, I think, and the wording seems okay. Primal Shield. At 6th level, you can call upon the natural world to aid you. An action, or as a reaction taken after you cast a spell of first level or higher. I need to assign that to the overgrowth feature, actually. You may call upon one of the elements below. Air. Choose a number of unoccupied spaces adjacent to each other that you can see within 20 feet of you equal to your proficiency bonus. I think... Choose a number of unoccupied spaces equal to your proficiency bonus that are adjacent to each other, and that you can see within 20 feet of you. That's better wording. Any ranged attack passing through any of these spaces is made at disadvantage. And any non-magical flames in these spaces are extinguished. Earth. Choose a number of unoccupied spaces equal to your proficiency bonus that are adjacent to each other and exceed 20 feet of you. You may turn these spaces into difficult terrain or form a low wall that provides half cover for people standing behind it. Is that... Is the adjacency needed? Is that clarifying anything? Because I didn't... I think so. Because otherwise you just have, like, random spaces. I'm happy with the wording. I'm going to leave it as is for now. Fire. Choose a number of creatures that you can see within 20 feet of you equal to your proficiency bonus. Again, does that need to be... Choose a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus that you can see. And that are within 20 feet of you. The first attack made against an affected creature gains a bonus equal to half your proficiency bonus to its attack roll. And then it'll be the same for water, so I'll just copy the sentence over. Each creature must succeed a strength saving throw versus your spell save DC or be pushed 10 feet in the direction of your choice. All of these effects last until the end of your next turn. Elemental form. Beginning at 14th level, you can draw upon the magics of using your body to manifest temporarily as an elemental. As an action, you must choose an elemental form from the list below. For 1 minute, you gain the elemental keyword, and that form's listed abilities. Tundra. You gain resistance to cold damage, may spend 1 sorcery point when you transform to gain immunity to cold. That should be more. I'm going to pull that to 3. Immunity to damage is pretty darn good. Anyway. Oh, right. This now has to be changed to points. Oops. Anyway, any creature that starts its turn within 10 feet of you takes 5 1d8 cold damage. Whenever you deal damage with an attack or a spell, you may use your action to change that damage type to cold damage. Desert, you gain resistance to fire damage. You may spend 3 sorcery points when you transform to gain immunity to fire damage. Once per turn, you may enter another creature's space. That creature takes 5 fire damage and 5 magical slashing damage. If you end your turn in another creature's space, you take 5 force damage and are pushed to the nearest unoccupied space. Additionally, you can move through space and areas 1 inch wide without squeezing. I mean, it's 10 damage automatic, 10 automatic damage. Yeah, we're good with that. Marsh, you gain resistance to poison damage. You may spend 3 sorcery points when you transform to gain immunity to poison damage. As a bonus action, you may summon a swarm of insects. The summoned swarm is friendly to you and your companions. Roll initiative for it and has turns. It obeys any verbal commands that you issue for it, or that you issue to it. No action required by you. If you don't issue any commands to it, defend itself from hostile creatures, but otherwise takes no actions. The GM has the creature statistics. The swarm's hit points are increased by an amount equal to your sorcerer level plus your proficiency bonus. Do I do multiplied by? No. No, we're good. Let's have that as an action, though. Storm's hit points are increased by an amount equal to your sorcerer level plus your proficiency bonus. So that would be at 14th level. Where's my thing gone? There it is. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the page number. Was it 290 maybe? No, that's dragons. Oh well, almost back to the swarm of insects. 22, yeah, it's somewhere around 50 hit points, right? Hey, Plastic Age Plays, or Travis, how you doing? Actually, I have a conundrum. It's not related to this in any way, shape, or... Well, it sort of is. So I had a cool idea that I want to write up for the Solution Vault, right? But equally, I think it's cool enough, and I'm enthusiastic enough about it, that I could submit part of it as a writing submission. Just slithering out of bed. Hey, that's fair. It's, you know, not half 3 everywhere in the world. So I don't know whether to write it up as community content and be like, hey, there's this cool option for you, or be like, hey, please hire me. Anyway, I just wanted to vocalize that. No feedback needed. Submit it. You should do both. Can I do both? I assumed if I submitted part of it, I wouldn't be able to then complete it and put it on the Solution Vault. Basically, it's just a subclass compilation of Titan-inspired subclasses. But try not to go with the obvious ones, so no Enkili bards. Release it and send the next up. Oh, I didn't realize I could do that. Then I will totally do that. Enkili's not Titan, ignore that. But that's the point. Anyway. Where was I? 22 plus 19. So 41. There we go. 41 hit points. Can soak at this level 2 attacks. Alright, I guess I'll add that to my backlog then. In that case, it might need its AC increasing. Or its hit points increasing. Swarms do more damage the higher health they have, though. Hmm. Think about this. Increasing AC makes something harder to hit, but still makes it fragile. Increasing hit points just means it can tank more damage. I could do both, I guess, but still. Increase AC by half proficiency bonus. This is why you should never do pet classes. Having any creature get better as you do to make it still relevant is a very fine juggling act. Juggling thing. What? Because just adding your proficiency bonus to the swamp's AC is a bit high. It's 17. Or 16 and then 17. Which for a swarm of insects is pretty bad. I think just hit points makes more sense. I can't think of any... Oh, what's the... Slowfall's like monk level times 10, right? I'm obviously not going to do that much, but still. Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk. There we go. Is it so far? 5 times Monk level. There we go. It is a pain. Just remember the Hornsword, Sentinel, Dragon Knight, your Skarn benchmarks. That is true. That is true. Where is... Those in the creature collection. Oh, there's the Titan Spawn in the pen collection. I was like, what? Where? Too many windows open. Why? So I think... Maybe Sorcerer level times 3. I don't know what the average hit points for Sorcerer at 14th level are. Sorcerer is what? D6 hit die. So that'd be 3, 9... Well, 6 at first level. Well, not counting Constitution modifiers. 6 at first level, so 13 times 3 is what? 39? 45, and then at least another 14 on top of that for 59 hit points. I figure as long as they're within below 50 hit points, they're fine. This is the the unseen pain of writing content. How to balance things. Oh, hey, Nightbot decided to show up after an hour and 35 minutes. Although that might be based on chat activity, to be fair. Could do proficiency bonus times 5. Yeah, I think it's... I mean, I use Nightbot. It's probably set to number of messages. just to avoid Nightbot filling up the chat with nothing but itself. What would proficiency bonus times 5 look like? So 25. It's a slower curve. Oh. Huh. Maybe, as an idea, because I've got to finish this because the stream's needs to end soon. No one ever uses them, but what about just your spellcasting ability score as as a modifier? What about if it's like spellcasting ability score plus sorcerer level or proficiency bonus? It's fancy, it is, and no one does it, but it's a number that's there on the sheet that you can totally use. And I mean, it doesn't go up, but if you do score plus level, then it'll still go up at 1 every time. Ties it into your spell casting, even though it's not actually a spell. You're just summoning the insect. And it doesn't involve any multiplication. It doesn't involve any small figures getting bigger. It's just you look at your sheet, you look at your level, and you're like, boom, that's how much extra HP my swarm of insects has. I'm gonna do it. I'm a mad person. I'd go score plus proficiency guaranteed increase, and you could just pump it up or not as you level. That's fair. That's fair. I'm just trying to make it viable. So score plus proficiency. So if we're assuming optimum sorcerer at 14th level, that would be what? An extra 22, 23 hit points? Which would make it 45 hit points on the swarm. If we go with level, it's an extra 9 on top of that for about 52, 53 hit points. I say assuming optimum sorcerer and then give it a random, an arbitrary score of 18. The difference there is 1 melee attack, I guess. And you can summon more. That's the thing. You can use your action for the entire minute to summon a swarm of insects as long as you've only got 1 swarm active. Oh, let's just go with ability score. I got myself hyped up to use the spellcasting ability score now, so we're going to use it. Plus, yeah, let's go with proficiency bonus. Uses your spell attack bonus in place of its attack bonus, and as your spellcasting ability modified its damage rolls, you may have 1 swarm summoned at a time. The swarm dissipates and reduces 0 hit points, or the effect of this feature ends. So, those of you who don't know, swarms deal, insect swarms deal 44 damage, which is an average of about 10 when they're above half health, and then that goes down to 2d4 when they're below half health. So adding the spellcasting ability modifier there hopefully offsets that slightly. Have 1 swarm so much time, swarm dissipates and reduces their hit points, or the effect of this feature ends. And Grassland, you gain resistance to non-magical damage. You may spend 3 sorcery points when you transform to gain immunity to non-magical damage. Your base walking speed is reduced by 10 feet. You're immune to the prone condition. Your AC increases by 10. Again, I just wanted to make a player character a tree. That's all this is. This is just me making a player character a tree. Each creature of your choice you can see within 10 feet of you gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier plus your proficiency bonus at the start of their turn. Note, ability modifier, not ability score. To keep it lower, it'd be like 10, I think. 9 or 10 at this point. I can never remember when the when the proficiency bonus becomes +5. It's around here somewhere. And then Overgrowth does need a thing. When you reach 18th level, you can use your magic door to land around you. As a reaction, taken after you cast a spell, the first level or higher, you can create an area of difficult terrain with a radius equal to the spell level. I guess spell slot level, technically. Times 5, multiplied by 5, please. Sends on yourself. Each creature within the area must succeed at a strength saving throw or be restrained until the start of your next turn. You may choose any number of creatures you can see in the affected area to automatically succeed. This effect lasts for 1 hour per use of this feature. I think that conveys the cumulative duration. I think. Maybe. You may use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses at the end of a long rest. That seems fair to me, because it's reasonably powerful, being able to create difficult terrain at will. Essentially for free, because you're expending the spell slot to do something else. I'm happy with that. I think there are definitely other ways you can take environmental manipulation, and I'm probably going to end up doing that slightly with the wizard, with the weather worker. But as a sorcerer's origin, I think it's pretty good. I think it does the job, which is good because there's like 10 minutes left. +5 proficiency in the 13th. Excellent. I thought it was somewhere around there. Thank you for confirming. So I think that's basically the content writing section of the stream. I think. If I'm keeping it to the 2 hour limit of the stream. So, I guess outro stuff. Yeah, if you have caught any of this, or you're, as I mentioned at the top of the stream, if you are a subscriber and you're watching this live, if you're watching this within the week's exclusivity period, or if you're not a subscriber and are watching it after that, and you have any questions, concerns, criticisms, feedback, or similar synonyms, please do feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at Comrade Bubbles. I do also stream on Twitch. Very rarely do I write tabletop role-playing stuff. I do sometimes, but more often than not it's video game stuff. But I'm at Comrade Bubbles there as well. If you are of a less kind of reaching out personally kind of mentality, which I struggle to reach out to people, so totally understand that. If you want to post a vague, generic question slightly related to anything you've seen here, or heard, or read, if you're using closed captions. The Onyx Path Discord's a good place. The developers themselves kind of hang out there, so you'll get a more, not necessarily official, but well-read answer than anything I could offer. Update on the previous season of the show. I am still, when I get time, going through that. If you remember, it was the Inkborn Pantheon for Scion. I'm slowly going through that and making that ready to upload to the Storypath Nexus, but this will take at least... I'm going to hazard a guess that this will take at least 3 more months to finish, because I've got 2 more classes, 2 more subclasses, 2 player races, or ancestries, sorry, and at least 1 spell to write up, and I might do some magic items. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. So I've got, at the very least, I would say, 5 streams, let's say, with the spells included. So that'll take you through, most of the year, or most of the next 3 months anyway. I should, in theory, be back on the 13th. But as I said at the start of the stream, I am running a Pugmire Jumpstart for April Jumpstart month, or for Jumpstart month, sorry, on the 20th of this month. No more time in the Frostlands. Yeah, I really like the setting, by the way. I'll be running the Pugmire Jumpstart on the 20th. Plastic Age Plays, who is in chat right now, minus celebrity, is actually running a game on Sunday and Monday? Saturday and Sunday? Sunday and Monday, there we go. I believe, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong, the Contagion Chronicle Jumpstart on Sunday at 11 a.m. EDT, and the Vampire the Requiem Jumpstart on Monday at, it looks like it says 3 p.m. EDT. All of this information is in the post roll. All of this information is also, where's the link gone? And the Monday meeting notes, there we go. Along with the, 3 jumpstarts happening before the Contagion Chronicle. The Monday meeting notes also tells you about the announcement of the Scion TV pitch that has been greenlit, I guess, by Onyx Path. I don't know where that sentence was going. Sunday, Monday, and I'm playing in the Trinity Continuum Adventure game on Tuesday nights. Folks getting tired of your face. I'm sure it'll be fine. I would love to tune in. My dating games are correct. Excellent. Yeah, I'm using the... I've paused the Twitch video player at the start of the stream, so it's a bit blurry and dark to make out the text, but there we go. Yeah, I'd love to tune in for the Monday one, because Reap the Whirlwind was a scenario I ran for World Free RPG Day. But unfortunately, at the time that game's going on, I am looks conspiratorially around. My players may or may not be facing a Dracolich on Monday. Except what they don't know is that the Dracolich has moved into a Beholder's lair, so they've got to deal with the Beholder's traps first. The Beholder itself is dead, but I might throw in a Bone Tyrant as a potential ally of convenience if they free it from wherever it's trapped. May the odds be ever in their favour? Well, hopefully, at this point, they are. They've got some magic items that might help, or might not. So unfortunately, I'll be doing that rather than being able to catch Reap the Whirlwind. If I recall, Reap the Whirlwind was written by Chuck Wendig, the author. Anyway, that's just a fun fact. I like the Bone Tyrant. I like the cool idea. Why, thank you. I aim to please. Just because it's a monster doesn't mean it doesn't have its own interests. I mean, I was going to air quotes monster, but it's an undead beholder. Of course it's a monster. There's no two ways about it. It's like if you had undead Scare-Eye, they're still monstrous. They're just doing character creating on the first Monday, maybe killing a prince. That's fair. Unfortunately, it's a Monday game, so I'll have to catch up after the fact on the VOD. Yeah, so next stream of this is the 13th. We'll tackle the Scare-Eye Warlock patron. And so the 20th, the Secret Vincent's Tomb in Pugmire. Are you a good dog? We'll find out if the players are good dogs. Then the week after that, 27th, is this again. Will be the Wizard. And then obviously going into... I can do maths and calendars. Going into May will be the... I guess May will see the two-player races, the Ursid and the Geist. Ursid being bear people, Geist being people who've died of exposure, and very much inspired by the Hollow Legionnaires, but presumably more horrific. And then if I do any spells and magic items, they'll be, I guess, in June. So hopefully by the end of June, I'll be in a position to start thinking about what to do next with the show. I'm trying to update my overlay every time to find an overlay that works, so if you've got any ideas, any criticisms, please do feedback with that. I could probably increase the cropping on the chat box so you can't see the cheerleader boards, but who knows. Anyway, so that was the rundown of the show for the foreseeable future. That was the link for Monday meeting notes. Also, please, if you have any interest in the story path system, superheroic role-playing, sort of, or just straight up punching Nazis in the face, please do consider backing Trinity Continuum Adventure! It is already funded, so as I say, it's essentially a sure bet at this point, barring complete collapse of Western civilization, I guess, or something happening with Onyx Path. But I have read and played Trinity Continuum Core, which is what, Aberrant? I don't know. I can't remember the subtitle. There's too many subtitles. On this very channel, with Plastic Cage Plays, actually, at Christmas year before last year? I can't remember now. It was a Christmas with Core is just Continuum. Cool. That's what I played, just the core book. That was a lot of fun, so definitely check it out if you're interested in, as a pulp, punching Nazis in the face, sort of superheroics, or just a really good storytelling game, not powered by the storyteller system, but by the story path system. I think that's it, so I'm going to hand over to the post roll. I will be streaming in about half an hour on my own channel. If you do want to hang out more, I'm playing Heaven's Vault right now, which is a cool adventure game where you reconstruct a lost language. Sure, it was Die Hard by way of the Three Stooges, if you recall correctly. It was a lot of fun. So that's it from me for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the feedback. Travis/Plastic Age Plays. I will definitely add my subclass idea to my project back burner and get that sorted and submitted to the Solution Vault and then to Onyx Path as soon as I can. Thank you for the amazing show. Oh, no, thank you for letting me do it. I wouldn't say today was particularly amazing. I've been struggling to focus, mostly because I haven't really had anyone to bounce ideas off of, but that's the nature of the beast, and it's totally fair. So, you look forward to reading it. Yeah, I hope you're not looking forward to reading it anytime soon. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Maybe sooner if you follow me on Twitch. But you don't have to, obviously. This will be up next Tuesday on YouTube if you have caught the end of it and want to see the beginning of it. Again, you need to be a Twitch subscriber to watch it in the intervening week. But I will see you all around somewhere, somehow, maybe, perhaps. I'm not your parent. You don't have to do what I say. So I'm going to swap over to the post roll so you can see what's coming up on the channel. I'm going to try to remember to change the title and game as well for the next show. Which would be, I say, playing for time while I open the relevant graphic. Relevant file. Trinity Continuum Adventure by Vorpal Tales in, 10 hours? So there you go. If you're not backing it, you want to see it in action first, just wait until the stream later. I hear good things about Vorpal Tales games. And then go and back it. So from me to you and to all of your loved ones, stay safe, stay healthy, and in these incredibly trying times, please do stay wholesome.